Hi, my name's Jacqui McKinlay and I run an organisation called the Centre for Public Scrutiny, and we were asked to carry out an independent governance review of the Royal College of Nursing following a motion at Congress last year. And the task that we were given was to test the effectiveness of governance and decision-making processes in order to ensure that the RCN could deliver its Royal Charter and trade union objectives as effectively as possible. Now, our role in carrying out an independent review is to honestly and independently gather evidence, analyse and make recommendations that help organisations in the way that they make decisions. And we view governance from the perspective much more than about compliance or just about the decisions that are made in boardrooms. We see it as testing how things work in practice and not just what's written on paper. So we're looking at how things are done and whether that happens in the right way. Is there enough transparency, accountability, enough people involved, are people acting with integrity, and is the right support in place? So really it's about having that governance structure. And our evidence gathering for this review spanned about 8 weeks, where we interviewed lots of different people, observed meetings throughout the UK, carried out desk research and surveys of members and staff. Now, whilst there's always more that you can do and always more evidence that can be gathered, we heard lots of wide-ranging views and some opposing views within that. And I'm confident that we gathered sufficient evidence in order to identify common themes and be able to make recommendations, say what was good, but also make recommendations about how things could be improved. So what's working well at the RCN? We were really impressed by the dedicated, experienced and passionate members that we met, both in formal governance roles and in the wider membership. And the evidence showed us that people were positive about the role and the contribution of the RCN to frontline nursing. And we saw some excellent examples of member engagement as well, particularly in relation to the Northern Ireland strike ballot, but also more recently on the COVID response. And overall, in relation to structures, people felt like there had been improvements from the structures that were put in place after the 2016 review, but more time was needed for them to embed. So whilst improvements had been made, most people recognised that there was still a lot more that could be done. And in our report, we've identified 7 areas where we feel that efforts should be concentrated. And they include things like having a really clear strategy and a sense of priorities and the decision making that would be associated with them. Having a much better idea of what the RCN means by member-led, and also ensuring that member participation links to decision making much more clearly. We talk about creating a more positive culture and the right behaviours to enable good decision making. And as I said, for those structures to be allowed to embed and for more time and effort to be put into making sure people understand their roles and responsibilities. So for the time being, we've recommended that there aren't any structural changes. And also we've spoke about steps that can be taken for meetings to be managed more effectively and for people to be given the right support, the skills and the training, for the RCN to have more diverse voices and for those people who are doing governance roles to have the confidence to carry out their task. So we made 10 recommendations in the report and another set of technical recommendations to support effective working. Writing the report and doing a review is always the easy bit. The challenge comes to actually making these happen and putting them in place and implementing them. And we know that will require strong leadership and an organisation-wide commitment to improve. And many of the tasks that we've set are not quick tasks, but what we saw was a real determination to improve and to build on what works already and address those issues that will further unlock the RCN's potential to better engage, listen and support their members. Thank you.